Hello, everyone. Today's movie we're going to talk about is called Killer Whale in 2026. A 1 hour and 29-minute action horror thriller released February 5th of 2026. Storyline. It follows best friends Maddie and Trish as they find themselves trapped in a remote lagoon with a dangerous killer whale named Ceto. Directed by Brechin. Written by Brechin and Katharine McPhee. Here's the cast. Virginia Gardner as Maddie. Mel Jarnson as Trish Stevens. Mitchell Hope as Josh. And Isaac Crawley as Chad. And the cast goes on. Folks, it's well, let's get into the review first. Maddie and Chad, obviously, are boyfriend and girlfriend. The movie starts off like it's a slasher film, and then it starts on to the killer whale. What I mean is, Maddie has a job at a restaurant, so she decides to pick up a shift where she wasn't supposed to be there. Her boyfriend Chad comes to see her. Surprised her. In the meantime, the man comes into the restaurant with a gun to rob the place. Of course, with Chad being there, Chad fights the man, the killer, and in a sense, Chad wins. The killer leaves the diner, and then we all think that it's all over with. Well, Maddie and Chad go outside and they're talking. All of a sudden, Chad gets ran over, obviously killed. Now, mind you, I did say a gunshot did go off in the diner that kind of made Maddie borderline deaf. 1 year later, her best friend comes to her house and has a trip paid to go to, I can't remember, Bahamas or whatever the hell it was. So they go, and they meet this guy named Josh, ironically. So they start talking about the whales and stuff like this here, and they all decided to sneak into this place that has the whale. Well, the whale comes to Maddie. It's a huge killer whale. Well, the security guard almost catches them. They take off and they leave. They get away, and then Josh takes them to this area to where it looks beautiful, but he tells them that something happened here, that nobody comes here anymore. But of course, Josh being Josh, takes the one girl and him out on a water ski, and Maddie's been floating on one of those, it's like a plastic slice pizza, whatever, floating in the water. Well, the water ski hits something and they fly off. And then that's where the story begins, because that is the killer whale. Obviously, Josh gets it first, as always, and leaves those two girls trying to survive, Maddie and Trish, on this rock. Now we have two girls stuck on this rock. The killer whale, he really isn't doing nothing. I think I'm just disappointed most out of hardly any kills. Now, that sounds horrible to say, but if I'm going to watch a creature feature, there's always going to be tons of deaths. Always. This wasn't like that at all. So I don't know if you can call it a horror movie. I mean, I don't think it is. It's more like an adventure movie, whatever. I mean, there is some deaths, but not, nothing crazy like a piranha movie would be, or however. And then, of course, the true story comes out about what happened at the diner. And, of course, you know how it is. So Trish tries to make it to the sand. And she did. And then they see an airplane. And then she's, like, hysterically trying to get the airplane's attention. And she walks too far into the water. And, of course, you know what's going to happen next. And then, of course, now that leaves her by herself, Maddie. Virginia Gardner. So now Maddie's has to try and survive this killer whale. And that's basically the moral of the story. There's more to it. I don't want to say no more than that. I will say that I'm very disappointed to the fact of it's not a horror movie at all. It's not even an action movie. It's more like, it's hard to explain. But it's watchable, shot very well, great scenery, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. When I hear a title of Killer Whale, I'm thinking of a creature feature where he's killing people left and right, but it really wasn't about that. That being said, I give this film a 7 out of 10. Again, I'm not slamming it. It's well worth a watch. Shot very well. It just kind of threw me off. That being said, I'm out of here.